Welcome back to Sway TV. I'm your host JJ here on Amazon Live, and I'm so excited!
We're gonna have some fun on the street.
And we're doing Workout Wednesdays here on Amazon Live.
And she is fresh off the set of Shark Tank.
It's such an honor to be here today, so thank you.
We are gonna be talking all about parenting.
This is our tribe of women. What is the key to a successful business?
I am so excited for today's Battle Shop Live. And it's Brad Grunberg. Hi, Brad. What more could you want than the Self-Love Workbook?
Thank God you were on this show.
Rosalinda just said this is better than Netflix.
Oh, Naveen says this is better than Netflix. Yes!
Here we go, here we go.
There's a Tesla. You can actually buy a car on Amazon. That is so crazy. The perfect gift. Yes, we got our Drake's Cake break.
David is live streaming. We got it right up in the corner. I love this.
Oh, that feels so good.
Oh my God, that is the coolest thing ever.
So awesome.
Shake, shake, shake.
Shake your zoo life.
This is fun.
Drum roll, please. Dun, dun, dun.
And one person's gonna win a PS5. Which one will it be?
Here we go. I'm so excited. I can't even stand it.
And Sam's in the chat says, Sway TV rocks. Woo!
We're still going. Yeah, we don't sleep at Sway.
One of the best comments I've ever received, ever, hands down.
2, 1. All the time streaming live. We're sharing great products. We're doing great interviews and amazing giveaways.
Amazon, we love you, Amazon. So grateful for you guys and for Sway TV.
I've had such a great time with all of you.
Shop attainment all the time. Amazon Live, woo! Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Sway TV. I am your host, Kimmy Seltzer, bringing you weekly, my weekly show, Kimmy's Love Hub here on Amazon Live. I am so excited about tonight. And first off, I want to see who is here. If you were here last week especially, I want to hear how you liked it. We made history. We made history here on Amazon Live with two people who never met before went on a virtual date right here in front of all of us. And we all had fun watching the date, critiquing the date. So if you were here, say hello. I don't see the chat yet. Hopefully I will soon. Oh, hello. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I decided to wear blue because I was realizing as I saw all my videos that I was in pink and red because it was Valentine's month. But we are entering a new month, a new era. Spring is in the air. And oh my goodness. Okay, so first of all, I want to see who is here, who was here last week. Hi, oh, Deirdre, of course. Love you girls who have been coming every single week, and so many men have been chiming in. And for those of you who don't know me, again, my name is Kimmy Seltzer. We are here at Kimmy's Love Hub, and this is a show all about dating, relating, sometimes mating, but most of all, it's about love, and that starts with you, because when you love you, that's when other people will too. This is what it's all about, and you know, I have a little bit of different approach. So if you don't know me, yes, I'm a therapist, but I'm also a stylist. So I combine, you know, styling and dating, and I mix it up, and I have this whole holistic approach in helping you all look and feel your best so you attract more love in your life. And I use strategies so that you know what to do, you know how to attract more love. You know how to break patterns for yourself. So nowadays, I actually call myself an authentic dating strategist and a confidence therapist because I believe everyone is pretty savvy these days. A lot of people know the things that they get caught up in, but I think what is missing is the action piece. Right? It's the strategies, like it's the how-to. And that is why I am so obsessed with this platform. I mean, it is a girl's dream come true for someone like me to be able to give you dating advice and shopping all in one platform. You know, this is what I've been so stoked about. And every single week, I'm going to bring you a different topic of the week. Last week, we talked about dating and giving a good Zoom date. We had 2 people actually give a great Zoom date right in front of all of us. And I have a really fun guest and a beautiful guest today, and I will introduce the topic in a moment. But first, who is here? Say hello. Oh, New here. Hi, New here, SL Mac. And yes, I'm not sure how to say your name, but you attract the energy you put out. Oh.
Rosalinda's her name.
Yeah. Oh, Rosalinda. Yeah. Oh. Nice to see you. And Johnny. I love my men. And men, don't go away. Even though we're going to be doing some beauty tips for women and makeup, first of all, you're going to have the inside scoop and what we all go through to get beautified for you men. And also, we are going to give some man grooming tips and makeover tips as well. So please stay with us. Now, if you are new here, I want you to know that it's really important that you click the follow button. So in the video, you see the follow button. Click it because that is going to allow you a couple things. One is you're going to be able to interact with me, the show, and I like interaction. I don't like just staring in a dot for 2 hours. I like you guys giving me some love because the more love that you give me, I'll give it back. And please, if there's any questions you have along dating, makeover, and tonight, definitely, hopefully you'll have some beauty questions. Put it in the chat box, but you can't do that unless you follow. Now, if you're on a mobile phone, you'll want to click the video that you see, and then the follow button will pop up, and that'll allow you to follow as well. So, say hello. Oh, nice to meet you too, Rosalinda and Anne. Anne, hello. So, yeah, I am really excited about the topic tonight. For those of you who don't know me and didn't hear my story, I was a therapist for a very long time, and I really did a lot of work where I help people from the inside out. I have flipped the script, and my belief now, after going through my journey, and now this is how I help people today, is working from the outside in. And I have this unique formula called the Charisma Quotient. And that is helping people raise their style, emotional, and social intelligence. So we start with style. And the reason why that is because how you present to the world, your first impressions, your body language, how you dress, all sends a message on who you are in the world. And you can do all this great stuff on the inside, but if the outside isn't matching and you're not marketing yourself in a way so that somebody gets to know you, you're not complete. And you might be missing opportunities. And I see this happen all the time. You know, I do a lot of profile reviews and I see how people's profile pictures are. And sometimes a little tweak goes a long way. And I have countless stories of where I've helped people just tweak their sexy image and put out like more of that dateable image out there, where all of a sudden they have opportunities to meet great matches, and it really does start in the beginning. And there's a symbiotic relationship between the outer and the inner when it comes to confidence. I knew this from my own story, and I'm not gonna go into my whole story again, but just know that, you know, again, being a therapist, then getting a divorce, I did all this work on the inside, but it wasn't until I had my red dress moment and I got myself some sexier clothes that it all started coming together. But I had to face my fears. I had to face the fears of being seen. And that relates to the topic that we're going to go into tonight. So we are going to focus on how to get date ready, because this is really important. And it's funny, a lot of people don't put a lot of emphasis on what happens before a date. Yet, here's what's so interesting. I did a little research, and research shows, I don't know how many of you know the app or the dating site called Elite Singles. I've done some blogging for them as well, but I saw an article where they did ask men and women a bunch of questions about, like how important is it to get date ready, and what do you put into it, before you go on a date. Now, most people, I think it was like an overwhelming amount, 85% of people, both men and women, said that it's super important and that they do try to pay attention to it. But there was a large portion of people, the rest of the percentage, I'm really bad at math, but you can do the math, the rest of the percentage did not put any energy into it whatsoever. And the reason is that they felt like it was a chore, or they felt it was really hard and they didn't know what to do. Now, here's the real interesting part of this too, because then on the flip side, when they asked men and women how important it was that their match looked attractive and put together, listen to this, 45% of men and 57% of women agreed that a date's presentation was really crucial in that first impression. And remember, it only takes 7 seconds to make a first impression. That's crazy. That's crazy if you think about it. So if you take a little time to get date ready and put in intention into how you look and feel, you're gonna walk into that date with sexy confidence, and that is so important. So I have a really special guest with me today, and she's gonna help us get beautified and beautiful so that we go into that date looking our best. Before I bring her on, I wanna just set the intentions for, what your mindset should be going into the date, because this is really important. A lot of people will schedule a date maybe right from their work, and here we are, most of us are doing a lot of work at home, right? So you might have a work meeting on Zoom, and then people are going right from that work meeting into a Zoom date. And that is what not to do. And I'll tell you why that is really, really bad to do. Because first of all, you're not putting intention, and you're not giving yourself time to break from that energy. Now, when you're in your work self, or even if you're a parent, you're in your mommy self or your daddy self, there is a different energy. A lot of us are task oriented when we're working. There's a lot of masculine energy with it, whether you're a man or a woman. Masculine energy goes with being a producer, a worker, that is part of why you're so good at doing the work. But it doesn't necessarily translate or work for you when you're hopping onto a date. So it's really important to be mindful of at least giving yourself a half hour to an hour break in between your task mode into date mode. And within that hour, this is what we're going to talk about. What can you do to get out of your head and more into your body so that you go in really relaxed, having fun, and being more playful? Because really where that happens is in the right brain. Your work is in your left brain. So how can we shake that left brain off and get us into our silly, into our beauty? And that's what's gonna come across to your date as sexy, as attractive and confident. Because remember, what people are paying attention to when they first meet you is not only what you're wearing and how your makeup looks or your grooming looks, but also the attitude that you have, and that's your body language, your moods. So this is really important. Now, I'm gonna give you tips about your wardrobe and other things around your mindset, but with me, I have in the green room, I guess Zoom green room. She's waiting patiently to come and share some beauty tips. She is amazing. Oh, yay, love mommy beautifies, yes. I was going to school for a clinical psychologist. Well, yeah, and here's the thing, even if you're a student and you're going to school, you're still in that work mode, right? And so no matter if you're a student, there is a different energy with that. So anyway, I want to bring on my guest. I don't want to, and we really look cute in the camera. I see it. We're so color coordinated. Her name is Jenny Patinkin, and she is a highly sought after beauty expert, entrepreneur, makeup artist, and author of this awesome book called Lazy Perfection. You all are going to get to purchase this book. It is in the carousel, in fact. So down below, if you're new here, you'll see a bunch of products, and her book is right there. So you'll definitely want to check it out. And she's going to be talking about it today. She's been all over the TV and media, but she's all about clean beauty and being natural. So let's bring her in. Jenny, hello.
Hi. Hi there.
It's so good to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, it's a pleasure. And we were joking behind the scenes that I almost wore the exact same color as you, and we're blonde, and we're from Chicago, so I feel like we're sisters already. But I would love to, and I don't know you. We have a very dear mutual friend, Nancy. I know she's coming on at some point, and we're gonna definitely have to say hi to her. I would love to hear your story. Like, I don't know, how did you get into all of this to begin with?
I was a total late bloomer. I did not start in the beauty industry until I was 40, which in the beauty industry is elderly. So I came in after, being a stay-at-home mommy and doing all sorts of, the mom volunteer work and various other fundraising activities. And it was through one of my fundraising activities, I decided I was going to become a makeup artist. And so I did some training, and I got signed by a big international agency 3 weeks after my training. Turns out I was good at it. And then, everything kind of took off from there. I wound up developing a line of makeup brushes and being an on-camera beauty expert and working with a lot of clean, natural beauty brands. And then I wrote my book, and now I have this broader line of products that I sell on Amazon and all over the place.
I love that. And I love that you got started later. I think and this actually pertains to dating a lot, because I have a lot of clients who say, Kim, I just feel like I'm too old to start. I'm too old to be beautiful. That's for the young people, or I'm too old to dress a certain way and that kind of thing. And the other thing that I hear that's common, and I want to hear from the audience too, like if this is you, is that a lot of them hate makeup. They'll say, oh my gosh, I hate makeup. I don't want to look too done up. I don't know how. And so I love that you're all about just, being natural and helping women, with that. So I'd love for you to address that or talk about that.
So the name of my book is Lazy Perfection, and it really is exactly what it sounds like. It doesn't take very much to feel great about your appearance. It really doesn't take a full face of makeup and, all of these technical tools and technical skills. It really is just finding what works for you and sticking with it. And it's not a life raft. Makeup is not a life raft. At most, it's floaties that kind of help you along, but you have to know how to swim. And knowing how to swim goes back to what you were saying. It's feeling good from the inside, but it starts on the outside, right? Because people respond to your appearance. And if you feel good about yourself and you're putting out that vibe, I look good, I feel good, people are going to reflect that energy back at you in the dating world and everywhere else. So, my approach is really to find a simple routine that is holistic. It's not just about your coloring. It's not just about your anatomy and your facial features. It's the combination of both of those things with your personal style, with your lifestyle, how much time do you have put into it, with your technical skill set, because as you said, not many people are at that very artistry level of technical ability and don't want to put a lot of effort into their makeup. Mm-hmm. And it's about finding a routine that gives you pleasure and that you can do with intention. And I love that you were talking about intention, because so much of how you feel and so many of the beauty tools that are in my assortment have an energy healing, intentional quality to them, where you make it like a self-care ritual. It's not just makeup, it's self-care.
Yes, I love that. And I know you have like a lot of tips for us. And I think it'd be fun to like almost demonstrate some of them. And I brought my little makeup bag as directed because you told me, and I was excited to actually whip out my bag. I haven't been out of the house for a very long time, so I was happy to even like use it. Yeah. But I would love for you to touch on, because here's something that, you know, some people also were saying is that like women don't want to feel too done up, you know, like, especially, you know, when it comes to meeting men, and if they're not very like secure with how they even apply the makeup and that kind of thing. Like, what, do you have any tips around that?
You don't need as much makeup as you are led to believe. You know, there's a circle that's all connected. It's the brands, it's the media, it's the stores. And so this cycle of information gets fed out there where you think you need every single one of the products that they sell, but you really don't. There are really just a few key products that are going to up the ante with your makeup look. And some of them are really not even technical applications where you don't need a brush. Some of them are just, I call it color by numbers. And you just kind of draw in the lines. But you know what, can I start somewhere else?
Yes, please go.
Okay, so you were talking about intentionality, and I know a lot of people are familiar with face rollers, right? So these are two different face rollers. This is full size, this is a petite face roller. These are made with rose quartz. So in seconds of using a face roller, you reduce the appearance of inflammation and puffiness. You get a smoother, more taut, more lifted look, and you boost your circulation. So you get more radiance and glow in your skin. So it's a really nice way to kind of take a beat between work and your date, you know, to kind of set your intention. Here's, you know, you can get the healing energy of the rose quartz, which is said to emit energy properties of love and self-love and kindness and warmth and compassion. That's what rose quartz is supposed to do. And I personally feel great when I hold onto my rose quartz roller. I definitely feel an energy boost. But what I always tell people is, if you don't believe in energy healing, no problem, because you still get the aesthetic benefit from using it. So I'll show you how to use a face roller. It's so simple, and you can do it anytime, anywhere, even on top of your makeup if you are at work or somewhere where you can't reapply. All you need to do is roll upwards and outwards on your face, aiming for the front of your ear.
Ooh.
And all this is doing is it's taking all of the excess fluids that have built up in our skin from salt, sugar, dairy, all the good stuff, wine. It's moving all of these fluids to the lymphatic drainage points that are in the front of our ears, and it's draining them out through our system. So I can already see one side of my face look smaller than the other side of my face. Some people get the sensation that they look more lifted. Some people feel like they look smoother, but this is really a quick fix beauty tool. And if you believe in energy healing, I mean, it's a lovely boost.
I'm just relaxed watching you.
You know,
I'm like, I wish I
refreshing.
had one. Yeah.
I'm sorry you don't have one on hand. It's very refreshing. It's a non-porous stone.
Yeah.
So it'll air chill. Just leaving it out on your bathroom counter, it'll get a nice chill to it. So you do get a little refreshing sensation from using it. So on your face, you roll up and out toward your ear. Even on your forehead, you want to roll towards your ear. On your jawline, you can go back and forth because there are lots of lymph nodes on your jawline. And this is where I feel like I could spend an hour and a half on my jawline. And then on your neck, you want to roll down. And I know it's counterintuitive because most of us have read or been taught that with skincare, you have to apply in an upwards motion. But with lymphatic draining, you want to roll down because the drainage points are down by your collarbones.
That's so interesting. I just want the audience to be aware that you can purchase it here on Amazon. And
Yes,
so,
both of these guys.
yes, if you go to swaytvshop.com, you'll see Jenny's page, little store, and she has the products. I have it up right now. And I think this is the little bit, because you had different sizes. I think this is the
Yep, there's two
larger
sizes.
one.
They do the same thing. The only difference is surface area. You know, this little one is great for under the eyes, but you can, of course, use it on your whole face also.
Oh my gosh. I
So
love
that's,
that.
to me, that is a great way to start your beauty routine because you get an energy boost and you also get the cosmetic benefits.
Can I mention too, is that I also feel like there's a component where it's relaxing. And I think that
Very.
is something that's so crucial. Again, like shaking off your day. And I'm going to go over some tips of other things that you can do to get more in your body. But anything that's sensory related that can help you, like, you know, that tactile thing. And it looks like it would be really smooth and it would feel good. And it's like almost like a massage on the face. So I think that would also help people relax if they're nervous before a date.
Well, I think that that's very true. And I also, you know, there's no real wrong way to use this as long as you're rolling up and out. And you don't have to be particularly tuned into the way that you're using this tool. You can use it at your desk. You can use it, you know, while you're watching TV or you're in the bath or whatever you are doing before your date. This is really just like a very calming, soothing self-care beauty practice.
I love that. Is there any other like products or things you can do to prep your skin before the makeup?
Yeah, you know what? For Zoom in particular, it takes away the shine on your skin. So I always tell people, if you're wearing something where your décolleté is showing, use an oil on your décolleté or at least by your collarbones, because an oil is very slick, right? So it's going to give you a nice reflection and it's going to make your skin look very smooth and very soft. On your face, I love to use a highlighter, but I use it very strategically because you can go from looking dewy to looking oily in 2 seconds. And on your face, you don't want to look oily. So I'm just going to apply this highlighter at the top of my cheek. And I really hope that you guys are going to be able to see, look at that nice little glow.
I love that shine.
Right?
Yes.
Right. So all this is doing is creating an optical illusion that the cheekbone is higher than it actually is. So the light is reflecting off of this line of highlighter that I've put on my face. If you want to put it down the center of your nose, if you feel like you want to narrow the appearance of your nose, you can put it down the center of your nose. It's also wonderful to pop into the corners of your eyes, not in your eye, you have to be careful, but look at that. I mean, that just gave like a nice little bright, dewy pop.
It's gorgeous.
At the corner of the eye, and it just makes everything look nice and bright and awake. If you are wearing eyeshadow, or if you're not wearing eyeshadow, you can pop a little bit of your highlighter right into the center of your eyelid. So what that does is, see that little bright area on my lid? Every time you blink, you get a tiny little reflection of light, and it makes your eyes look bigger and brighter than they are. And the other thing that you can do with highlighter is you can pop it on the bow of your lips, in between the bow of your lips. And that also just creates the illusion that you've got a little bit more pout.
I love
So
that.
I'm a big fan of highlighter.
Okay, so I did my homework and you told me to bring a highlighter. I want to make sure. So I saw you were using a stick. Is this okay? So this is one. I don't know if you can see it.
Is that
Wet
I
and
can't see.
Wild?
Is it
It's Wet
powder?
and Wild.
Is it powder?
It's powder. It's highlighting
Okay.
powder, and I'm bringing it up right here. It's in my page, y'all. So you can definitely get this on Amazon, and it doesn't break the bank. But I wondered, like, can you use this the same way as you did the stick?
You use it exactly the same way. You can use it with a brush. So you just very lightly apply it with a brush.
Okay, I'm gonna try this.
And then you want to make sure, Kimmy, that you soften the edges. So just go at the so line up with the outer corner of your eye. right?
Like right here.
Line up with the outer corner of your eye.
Okay.
And then take it back from there. Just very,
Like that.
very lightly, right? You want to make sure you're not getting close to any creases or crinkles that you might
No,
have.
I do not want to highlight my crinkles. Thank you.
No. Yeah. So you know, if you're worried about your creases or crinkles, you can hold your finger there and then highlight underneath your finger.
Ah.
Right? There you go. Perfect. You're in the right placement.
my God.
Exactly. And I can see that highlighter going on you.
Can you see it? Is it sparkly like yours?
I thought I could, but maybe you need a little more.
I'm a little bit farther too. Yeah, no, I love it. It's so subtle. I just want to comment. Can I comment something that's really kind of cute? Like, this is something that's so subtle, yet so sexy at the same time. And because we're talking about, you know, a date look, and something as small like this can make a big impact in the way that you look. So it's like, you know, you could have a daytime look where you're maybe more matte and more natural, and you just pop that highlighter, and suddenly, like, that glimmer has a sex appeal to it. Does that make sense?
You look candlelit.
Yes.
You know, whether you are or you're not, you get that glow that you get when you're sitting in front of a fireplace or, you know, a candle. It is a very sexy look, and it's very simple, but it has to be done strategically, right? You don't want to put your highlighter too close to your nose on the inner part of your cheeks, because if you have enlarged pores, it will accentuate enlarged pores, or it can make small pores look big. There are some makeup artists who recommend putting it between your eyes or on your forehead. I do not recommend that because I think it can make you look sweaty instead of glowy, right? So I prefer to be kind of more strategic about the way that I apply my highlighter, but you know, I'm very happy with this glowy look. And the other thing is, skin looks fresher and younger when it's got a sheen on it.
Oh, we all want to look younger. I like
right.
this.
Well, I'm not a fan of the phrase anti-aging. Like, there's nothing wrong with aging. Let's all just be happy with where we are, but you want to look your best, right? You want to look fresh.
Yes.
And this little dewiness on the skin definitely looks fresh.
And you know, that goes along with what I tell people with their outfits too, because a lot of times, you know, people are like, oh, I don't want to look like inappropriate, you know, like, and put on, but really what you're talking about with the makeup and also the outfits that I recommend, it's about being youthful. Like, everyone, no matter what age you're at, everyone likes the energy of being youthful.
But I'm going to give you one tip with highlighter that is very important if you want to look really youthful, and that is to avoid highlighters that have visible pieces of shimmer in them.
Oh.
So if you rub your highlighter on the back of your hand and kind of move your hand around in the light so you can see the reflection, you'll be able to see whether there are visible pieces, particles of shimmer. If there are visible particles of shimmer, you want to keep it as far away from age-related changes in your skin as you possibly can.
Oh God.
As our skin thins,
that's a lot of places. So I have to be careful.
But you know, the obvious places, right, where you get creases and crinkles around your eyes, where your pores might be changing on your cheeks. Those particles of sparkle can sometimes sink to the bottom of any creases on your face, and they're like a little lighthouse where they just send out a flash of light and call way more attention to it than they really. Nobody wants that much attention on their age-related changes.
Age-related changes. I love that statement, by the way. Oh, Nancy says hi. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
She brought us together. It's a mutual friend. So, okay, so that's good. So we got the roller, we got the highlighter. What's next?
Okay, so you know that so much of when you're flirting, it comes from your eyes, right? You know, it's about getting a sexy, sultry eye. Now, eye makeup is far and away the most intimidating for most people.
Yes.
If you talk to women, they will say they don't know what they're doing. Most women will say they don't know what they're doing with their eye makeup. But I'm going to give you a very simple trick that you can do even if you are not wearing any eyeshadow at all. This is called tight lining. And I know it's going to be kind of weird to wrap your head around, but basically it's applying eyeliner underneath your upper lash line.
Yeah, I've had makeup artists do that to me before, but so you're going to teach us how to do it ourselves.
I'm going to teach you how to do it. It's so simple. I'm using a navy eyeliner. And the reason I chose navy is because it looks great with every single skin tone, every single eye color. And the reason is because the blue makes the whites of your eyes pop really bright.
Ooh.
So it's just a universal, and I'm really not one to talk about a universal product in beauty. I think it's a marketing term that can be a whole lot of nonsense, but navy really is a color that every single person can wear. So what you want to do with your navy eyeliner, and I'm gonna move my computer a little closer. God help me, you're all gonna see my age-related creases and wrinkles.
But you didn't put highlighter on it, so it's good.
That's true. All right. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. Can you still see me even though I have it here?
Oh, this is
so
good.
I'm going to take this underneath my upper lash line, and you should feel your lashes moving as you are applying this tight line. If you don't feel your lashes moving, you're kind of defeating the purpose. And I'll tell you why. It's because this tight lining, can you see it just looks a little bit more oomphy, a little bit more dramatic. So what it does is it fills in any little gaps between your eyelashes. So your lash line looks thicker and fluffier and more bulky. It defines the shape of your eye. And then that navy makes the white of your eye pop really nice and bright. Now, if you feel like you want to go even a little more dramatic with this, can you see me with the mirror? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you feel that you want to go even a little more dramatic with this, looking straight into your mirror, let me see how I can do this. You can close your eye and make a tiny flick at the outer corner. And now I closed my eye to get the placement, but I'm keeping my eye open as I'm making the flick. And I've just given myself a sexy little cat eye.
Oh my gosh. It's so subtle yet like so
right?
fabulous.
But you
at
can
the same
see
time.
the little cat eye flick right there. So that elongates the shape of the eye and just makes it look a little bit sexier. If you, so much about applying your makeup is correcting things if you don't like it, or if you feel like you've done it not looking the way you want it to look. If you want to correct it, you just take a brush, like my pencil liner brush, which is also on Amazon, and you can just smudge to correct. You know how Tim Gunn says, make it work? This is the makeup equivalent. Smudging is the makeup equivalent, where you can just, smudge it out, and then you've got a smoky look instead of a more defined look. But I think that, getting this little lift at the outer corner of the eye is very fresh and pretty and sexy.
Oh my God, I love it. And I just want to mention, please go to swaytvshop.com and you can see this brush that she's using. I really love this because I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like as I'm aging, my eyelids are getting more and more sensitive. And so like those harsh pencils always hurt me. And this looks like it'd be gentle.
It is gentle. You need to look for the right texture of eyeliner. It should be water resistant at the very least. There's kohl is a great texture because it's very soft. Kohl starts out as powder and then it gets compressed when it's put into a pencil. And so it doesn't smudge if you don't touch it. So it's heat resistant, it's water resistant, and it's long wearing as long as you're not rubbing at your eyes. So that's the type of liner that I recommend for this technique. And the other kind is a gel liner. that just, glides very nicely onto your skin, but sometimes it's too waxy, a gel liner. And as you heat up and, there's more blinking when you're flirty and you're talking to people. And if it heats up, it'll blink down into your lower lash line. So, it's really going to depend on the circumstance and your body chemistry. But I would recommend a kohl pencil if you can get one.
Okay, I love that we're emphasizing the eyes here, because one of the things that I teach my clients a lot, especially if you're a woman, is called the 3-second rule. And this is a flirt technique. And you kind of alluded to it, but if you have really sexy eye, even if you have your mask on, this is a way to engage a guy, to let him know that you're interested. And it goes something like this. It's looking at him, looking away, and then looking at him again. And I didn't make this up. This is actually a technique that's been in like a lot of studies, a lot of books. But what that look does, that second look, really assures the guy that it wasn't a fluke. So, because guys need reassurance. They're like, wait, was she looking at me? And so if we have the makeup on that has that drama, and here's the thing that I love about the tips that you're giving, is it's not something that guys would necessarily call out. They're not going to go and say, oh, I really like your highlighter, and I really like the eyeliner that you have on. All they know is they like what they see, right? And so I think, the things that you're teaching us are dramatic enough to really be eye-catching and sexy. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that.
But simple, but simple and lazy. It just, it's what I was saying earlier. It doesn't take as much effort as we all think it takes.
Exactly. Okay, so we got the roller, we got the eyes, we got the highlighter. What's next?
Blush. Honestly, blush, it's really a blush bronzer combo. You definitely want to have a little bit of a flush in your skin. I am a really big fan of cream blush. I think it's a more natural texture for most people. Most people don't have a naturally powdery texture skin. So with cream blush, what I like to do is just tap it very gently into the cheeks. So I'm tapping into my blush, and then just to make sure that I don't over apply, I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to tap it on the back of my hands a couple of times just to blot it, so that you don't have to spend a lot of time correcting your makeup later, even though, as I said before, correcting your makeup is a big part of the makeup application process. So with blush, I'm really just applying this kind of toward the back angle of the cheek. Now it's picking up this highlighter that I put on my cheek earlier, and it's just making, give a very natural, youthful, fresh look. And, for so many people, as we get older, we lose a lot of the coloring in our face. So this sort of tapping into the cheek technique just brings that youthful flush back to the skin. You do not want to drag on your skin as you're applying any makeup, but especially a cream product. You don't want to drag, you want to tap. And the reason for that is when you stretch your skin, when you're applying makeup, actually concealer more than anything, when you stretch your skin, it's going to want to go back to where it naturally rests. And it's going to take the makeup that you've just applied with it. And that's when you get creasing underneath your eyes with your concealer. And that's when you get settling into fine lines and pores on your cheeks. So this tapping technique also helps with wear time, because your makeup's not going to move around as much because you have not stretched your skin.
I did not know that. That is a really cool tip. I just want to answer, Stacy has been asking about where to find these products. And again, if you're just tuning in, go to swaytvshop.com. And Jenny has her own little page there. I have Kimmy's Love Hub, so I have a couple products in there. So does Jenny. So that's where you can find some of the stuff is not in there because, you know, we all have our own makeup. But Stacy had a good question. She said, can you give your best tips for a natural look with very little makeup?
I'm a huge fan of very little makeup. So instead of foundation, what I like to do is apply concealer basically from the center of the forehead down the center of the face, and that's it. You don't need whole coverage on your face. Most women have discoloration underneath the inner corner of their eyes, around their nose, on their chins, and between their eyebrows. If you can neutralize the color down the center of your face, the rest of your face looks like you're wearing makeup. So that's my first tip. You don't need, you know, a full face. You don't need, it doesn't have to be a complicated application. Cream blush, I think is, you know, very important for a simple makeup look or any makeup look. Filling in your eyebrows, very important because we're also expressive with our eyebrows, even though, I mean, I have a ton of Botox. It must be wearing off because I can move a little bit, but you know, we're all very expressive with our eyebrows. And you want to make sure that they are framing the rest of your face. There's a whole chapter in my book about eyebrows where I refer to them as the queen of the face. And they're looking down on the rest of their kingdom. And if they're not happy, nobody else is happy. So you've got to make sure that you groom your eyebrows, even if you don't want to spend time filling them in. Curl your eyelashes. If you are not already blessed to have curled eyelashes, it makes an enormous difference. When your lashes are straight and they're here, you can see, I mean, this is a big exaggeration, but you can see it's casting a shadow over my eye. But when you curl them, you let the light get to your eye and your eye is instantly going to look bigger. And then I think it's important to get any little bit of sheen on your lips, whether it's from a balm or Vaseline or a lip gloss. Any little bit of sheen on your lips is going to make the rest of your face look hydrated too. Dry lips make everything else look dry. So, okay, exactly what you're doing, Kimmy. Put your lip gloss in the center of your lower lip and then blot. So what that does is it gives you a big pouty look. Mm-hmm.
It's so kissable.
You know, you're kissable. and right? When you're in a romantic situation or a potentially romantic situation, the mouth is important. You know, people look at your mouth when you are speaking. It's very difficult with masks, obviously.
Yes. I had a question about that, but yeah, go ahead.
I didn't realize how dependent I was on looking at someone's mouth when they were speaking to understand fully what they were saying. But this little bit of poutiness is very sexy. And then I'm going to give you my last tip because I know I've been talking forever, which is to strategically powder. Ooh. Because now you have all of this glow on your skin, right? You've got the glow on your cheeks, in the corners of your eyes, on your lips. So you want to dull down, mattify the places that you get shiny. But you want to use the tiniest little bit of makeup. So I have I don't even know how to describe the unit of measure for this, but I have a tiny little bit of powder in the cap of my powder product. And I'm taking a big, soft, fluffy brush. This is my powder bronzer brush. We actually won an Allure Best of Beauty Award for this brush this year.
Let's show that.
Just very exciting. So I'm rolling the brush around in the powder. This is very important. I'm tapping off the excess. I can see it flying. I don't think that you guys can. Tap off the excess, and then you are very lightly going to use this powder only where you get shiny. Everywhere else, you want to keep that glow. What happens when you powder your entire face is you flatten out the dimension on your face because you don't have any reflection left, right? There's no sheen on your skin. So the light doesn't bounce off of your face and you wind up looking like your features are flattened out a little bit. So this technique, actually, I think that I just put too much on me, but this technique definitely being very strategic about how you apply is important because you want to make sure that you are keeping your beautiful dewy glow everywhere else.
I want to highlight your brush. This looks so good, and I'm
Thank
showing it
you.
here. So you got an award for it.
We
Tell me
got the
about it.
Allure Best of Beauty Award, which is the Oscars of the beauty industry.
Oh my God, amazing.
For this brush. Yeah, it was a career high for me, for sure.
Do they have like a
It's
little
very,
like?
it's very, very soft. And as I was saying before, like your skin shouldn't move when you're applying your makeup. And the key to that is having very soft makeup brushes.
Okay. Did you get like a gold brush Oscar for it? They should have.
I got the pleasure of purchasing the Allure Best of Beauty seal that I could use to promote. So
That's awesome.
I paid them,
Yeah.
basically.
As
But
we all do with some things, but
It's okay. It's very prestigious and I'm very proud.
no, this looks great. I want to get this because I have one that's it has like really stiff bristles and it hurts my cheeks. And this looks like it'd be really
so
gentle.
if your bristles are scratchy on your face, get rid of your brush. If your
Okay.
bristles are shedding, get rid of your brush. If they are misshapen or dented in the middle, get rid of your brush. Get yourself a new brush. Your brush needs to be in great condition so that you can get a smooth application and an even blend of makeup. If your brushes are not in good condition, it's going to make it much harder to get a natural, even blended look.
Well, and while you have the brush in your hand, I wondered if you could talk about bronzer because I heard, and this relates to like if you're going on a Zoom date especially, I heard that bronzer is a really good thing to have if you have like high lights on you.
Yeah,
Right?
bronzer is great because it neutralizes discoloration in the skin. But you want to be, again, I keep using the word strategic, but you do want to be strategic about how you apply bronzer. You want to apply it really only where you get suntan. So nobody gets suntanned on their upper lip. Nobody gets suntanned on the bottom of their cheek. This is not a product that you use everywhere on your face. You use it where the sun hits your skin naturally. So for most people, that's on the cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it a little bit underneath the cheek to build some definition. I like to use it underneath the jawline to create a little shading. Now, this is not to give you a sun-kissed look, but it does give you a little bit of shading as long as you're not using a bronzer that's got shimmer. You can use it across your nose, on your forehead. And I really like to use bronzer down my neck, especially if I'm on camera, because a lot of times we take such great care of the skin on our face, but we forget about our neck and our décolleté. So, a lot of people, their face, their neck, and their chest don't match. So using bronzer, it's the great equalizer. And I talk about this in my book too. Bronzer is like kind of the great savior because it hides a multitude of sins. But it really warms up your skin and gives you a very youthful kind of look.
Can you do contouring with bronzer as well?
Yeah,
Ah.
you can do contouring with bronzer as long as the bronzer is not sparkly and not too orange. So the
okay.
key with contouring is to make sure that your product has kind of a gray tone to it. So you can see this is not a very orange or red or gold bronzer. It's a little bit gray. This one does not have any shimmer in it. So I'm going to use a pretty small brush for this, but you're going to be amazed because within seconds, you're going to be able to see. Look at that. I've just created a little shadow on my cheek.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm going to blend
That's what contouring is.
not
y'all.
like, it doesn't have to be at Kardashian level. That doesn't look real.
Right.
So what I recommend with contouring is line up with the outer corner of the eye and then follow the angle between the center of your ear and the corner of your mouth. If you push into your brush, you'll feel that's the bottom of your cheekbone. And you just kind of add a little contour right there. I love contouring the jawline. I'm 53 and my jawline is not cooperating
You are
with
not
gravity.
53, by the way.
Yeah.
I know everyone's
Sadly.
thinking that, so I'm gonna just say it. You look fabulous.
Well, it's, I know how to contour.
You know, it's all about the contour, ladies.
It's all about the contouring. So I love a little contour on the jawline. And the trick here is to apply just over the edge. So you want to be like a couple of millimeters on your face and then turn the corner underneath your jawline. So here I'm underneath, but here I'm on my face. Just a couple of centimeters, or millimeters. So you can see, look at that nice sculpted jawline.
It's beautiful.
Compared to that one. This one just looks a little softer. But the most important thing with contouring is blending. You have to make sure that you soften it out so that it looks like a shadow and not like a stripe.
Do you use a different brush for that?
I use a different brush to blend. Yeah,
I noticed
this is
it
my
looks
powder
bigger.
bronzer brush.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
This is so good. Like, it's so girly and fun, but yet I know that there's a lot of people out here that might look at this and be like a little overwhelmed, because makeup can be overwhelming if you've never done it. It's just like dating. It's just like flirting. Like, you know, having confidence with putting on your makeup is just like having confidence in dating. It's like you just have to have some experience and put yourself into action. And that's why I love that you're demonstrating all of this, because you're really like teaching us, not just, you know, showing us, and a little bit goes such a long way. Like, that's what I love about these things. It's
well,
great.
this is exactly why I wrote my book, because there are more women who want to wear less makeup.
Yes. It's all about being authentic and natural. And I think even more so during the pandemic, we're just seeing a trend with that, right? Like, just, it's all about the natural beauty. We had a couple questions come through, and I know Nancy was asking, this is a great question actually, because I always say that every woman should have a little red dress, a red top, because red attracts men. So what kind of makeup would you recommend for something that's like bright, or even like what you and I are wearing? It's pretty bright. Are there tips around that?
I think the most important thing is to neutralize discoloration in your skin before you're putting on a bright color. Because if you're wearing a bright color, whether it's your clothes or whether it's your makeup, any other redness on your skin is going to come into focus when it's put next to another bright color. Not so much with blue, but definitely with pink, with orange, with any, you know, sort of red undertone color, you are going to see more blotchiness in the skin. So balancing out a little concealer to correct any discoloration. If you've got discoloration in your cheeks, use it. You don't have to try and cover it up, but make it look like it's there on purpose by putting just a little bit of maybe a clear balm on top of it, or even just pinching your cheeks.
Ooh.
You want to make sure that you are using what you naturally have instead of trying to fight against it. But that's my tip. If you are wearing a bright lipstick or bright clothing, you need to make sure that your skin doesn't have any redness.
And this is what I was taught, but I wanted to know your opinion. And don't wear a bright lipstick if you have a bright color on, right?
You know, those rules are out the window.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can wear like a red lip
What we're seeing now is kind of an anything goes. Personally, for me, I like to at least stay in the same color family. But there are people who are wearing an orange lipstick with a pink sweater, and it works. It depends on your whole look. It's what I was saying before. You have to work your makeup around not just your anatomy and your coloring, but your personal style, your lifestyle, and your skill set. and how much time you're willing to put into it.
And wouldn't you say confidence too? Because like if you're loving what you're wearing, you know, both in your clothes and your makeup, and you're rocking out like a purple lip and a pink top, and because you feel confident enough to do it, like why not, right?
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is really good. I have another question about any differences between if you're doing like a Zoom date versus an in-person date. Like, is there any makeup difference?
The biggest difference is that you don't get the same reflection on your skin when you're on Zoom versus when you're in person. So you do want to take a little bit more care with blending and with powdering when you're in person. Not too much powdering, right? You want to be not dulling down the sheen on your skin, but you also don't want to look like you are perspiring, because that looks like you're nervous. So you want to look glowy and fresh. And the way that you can do that is to powder strategically in the areas where you ordinarily get shiny. The other thing is, if you're going out in person and it's going to be a longer evening, you can layer textures of your makeup to lock it in so that you get a longer wear. So you can apply cream blush and then put a little powder blush on top of it. And those two textures kind of grip together and hold it in place for much longer than just a cream product alone.
Awesome.
So those are a couple of tips. There's a lot more, but those are a couple.
Oh, just a couple. Like you had so many like golden nuggets right now. Like I could just like keep on going with you. If you are just tuning in, we are here at Sway TV, Kimmy's Love Hub. And if you want to interact with us, Jenny's going to be here for only a few more minutes, but we'll definitely take questions. You have to click the follow button. And once you click the follow button, not only will you be able to interact with us, but you'll also be able to be entered in giveaways that we do here periodically on Sway TV. So definitely you're going to want to put your name in and follow us, follow Sway. And Jenny, I know, there's another question about makeup brush cleaners. Anything that you would...
So I have my own makeup brush cleaner, actually. And I'm embarrassed to show it to you, Kimmy, because...
There's no embarrassment here.
I didn't pull this one from inventory. This is one that I have been using.
Oh, okay.
But it's a solid makeup brush cleanser, and it comes in this pan. There's a reflection on it, sorry.
Oh.
So all you do, it's so easy. You get your makeup brush wet, and then you swirl into the pan. And when it gets lathery and foamy, you can just rub it in your fingertips and then rinse it under warm water, just like this.
Oh.
And then squeeze excess water out so that you reshape the brush head, and then sit it over the edge of a counter so that you get air circulation all the way around it. And this brush soap, I mean, I say this all the time about this brush soap. I should be modest about it, but I'm really not, because it's awesome.
Shout it out, girl.
It's one of my favorite, and it works great for washing makeup sponges too.
Oh my God.
But
How often? How often should we do it?
Once a week.
Oh, once a week.
Once
Okay.
a week if you're wearing makeup every day. If you're not wearing makeup every day, you can go a little bit longer. But if your makeup brushes get dirty, first of all, you're spreading bacteria on your skin and germs and, you know, whatever products you have built up on your skin. But secondly, your bristles aren't going to move independently, right? There's a ton of bristles in a makeup brush, especially mine, and you want them to move freely and not be stuck together because there's leftover makeup in your brush. Most people don't wash their brushes once a week. And that's okay. Just do it as often as you can.
I'm like, true confession here. I don't. And now you're totally motivating me to do that.
Yeah, but most people don't. But that's why this makes it actually really easy, and it's kind of fun and satisfying. And when you're done, you just rinse this underwater and then just set it upside down to dry.
Oh my God, these are great tips. And I know you have more tips in your book. So
I do.
Lazy Perfection, you can see it in the carousel down below. You can definitely grab it. Do you want to talk a little bit about what is in your book? Yeah.
It's a lot of these same tips, honestly. It's really about finding the routine that works for you. And it's not a cookie cutter approach to beauty. It's not a you should or you must. It's a realistic look at everything from how to clean out your existing beauty kit, right? We all have a hard time cleaning out our makeup kit. So I have a whole section on how to purge your makeup. I have a whole section on how to go shopping for makeup, because that's a very fraught thing for so many people. It can be very stressful going shopping for makeup. And then there are chapters in here for, you know, everything from foundation to concealer, eyebrows, eyeshadow, different eye shapes, how to apply your blush. There's product recommendations in the back. There's a chapter on hair, and there's a chapter on fashion.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So any tips for hair as we're talking about that?
You know, my biggest tip right now is oil. I'm such a huge fan of oil. And I know that we have all been so programmed to be anti-oil, but oil basically tricks your skin and your hair into thinking it's already produced that oil, so it won't produce any more. So I'm just a really big fan of getting circulation going in your scalp, using an oil to seal the moisture into your hair. And oftentimes you can use that same oil on your face and your body. So that's my new, I mean,
it looks so shiny, your hair.
It's oil.
I love that.
Use just a couple of drops and then just take it through your ponytail lengths all the way through. And that's it.
Oh my gosh, I want to get some oil now. Yeah, and you know, I've been talking about this brush here because this has been really popular product on Sway TV. Have you ever used this? It's the Revlon One Step.
I haven't, but you are the second person today who's asked me.
Oh my God, I'm
about it.
obsessed. Like, talk about smooth, because I have really frizzy hair, and so I love the oil idea. And this is an awesome thing because it saves time. It straightens your hair, and it does give a little bit of shine as well, but it straightens and dries it in one step. I'm obsessed with it. I knew about this for a while. Yeah, you have to check it out. And that's in the carousel too, y'all. So this is, oh my God, this is so great. And then, you know, we'll definitely be talking about the outfit tips as well, because it all goes hand in hand. I mean, even from the jewelry that you wear and how that blends in with everything. And also, like, you're sending a message out to the world and who you are based on, you know, what you look like, the intention that you put into, and also like caring about it, because we're attracted to people who care about things, right? And I surveyed both men and women, and the number one thing they said is sexy is when both men and women put some care into how they look before a date. And so, you know, all these tips that you're giving, like, there's no excuse for anybody on here listening to not at least try one thing. And even if you just, and that's what I encourage you to do, even if you start small and, like, you know, do the highlighter, like I love the highlighter, you know, for the little dewy look, or you just put a little bit of gloss, do something different that you've never done before and see how you feel. And see the impact it might have on how other people view you. Because that's what increases the confidence, right? Like, somebody might say to you, oh my gosh, you're looking so great. Maybe they don't know what you did, or they don't know why. You know why, and you know the energy that it took to put into that. So that's why I really love all these action tips. Really, thank you so much for all of this.
You are so welcome. It was so much fun.
That was great. Well, any like last words of wisdom, parting words of wisdom that you want to leave the audience with, and let us all know how we can find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Jenny Patinkin. And I sometimes post little tutorials and product recommendations and things of that nature. Parting words, I would just say, don't be embarrassed to put effort into your appearance. For so many of us, we feel like it's a vanity, but it's not a vanity. It's self-care. It really, really is. Feeling good, I completely agree with you, Kimmy. It starts with being happy with how you look.
I love that. Self-care, that's a really good replacement word for people who sometimes react to the word, style or makeup or image, because that's really what we're talking about. It is the care that you put into yourself, and that can be done in so many different ways. So thank you so, so much again. I know that I'm going to be talking to you again for sure.
Anytime. It's my pleasure. Thank you again for having me.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Awesome. Wasn't she great? And I love that she gave such easy, small tips. Feel a little more sexy, a little bit more special than the couple hours that you spent during the day or maybe weeks prior. When you do something different, and honestly, this pertains to everything, not just makeup. It's the clothes you wear, it's the flirting that you do, it's putting your profile up, it's all the things that might be a little uncomfortable or a little different for you. But here's the thing, and this is what I say all the time. People do not change in comfort. I'll say that again. People do not change in comfort. The only time you do change, and that includes your sexy confidence and energy, is when you do something that's a little bit uncomfortable because it's new for you, because it might be different. But that difference, maybe the little anxiety that you feel, is probably what you need, especially if you're not getting the results that you want. Right? And so I really wanted to bring her in and start with some beauty tips and on the outside. And men, are any men still here? I just want to know, because I feel like I need to give men a prize if they've been watching this whole entire time, because, men can see what we women go through in ways of beauty. But let me tell you, and this is what the studies found that I thought was really fascinating. Do you know men put just as many time, hours, effort into getting ready as women do? The percentage, and I don't have it offhand, but the percentage was almost the same. And yes, we do things differently, right? We put on more makeup, but men, I want to encourage you to groom yourself. I want to encourage you to cut those fingernails. We notice these things, trim the nose hairs, even on your eyebrows. Some guys even get a little waxing on the eyebrows. It does make a difference because we do notice these things. I'll never forget a woman who went on a date, and this was back in the day when I was a matchmaker. I don't know, many of you don't know this. I used to do matchmaking along with my coaching and therapy. And thank goodness I was the matchmaker. I was kind of the in-between, because I was able to get them a second date. This woman really loved this guy. And I mean, he had everything. He was emotionally available, he was sexy, he was attractive, and he even dressed okay. He didn't dress really, really well, but it was good enough in the way that she described it. But what killed it is she said, Kim, I know this is gonna sound really shallow, but I could not get past his fingernails. I said, well, what was going on in the fingernails? And she's like, well, I don't know. It looked like he was, just out gardening or something. They were long and they had dirt underneath. And it was something, obviously an easy fix, right? And of course, she was going to give him another chance. And I talked her off the ledge, but she was obsessing over it. She's like, I don't know if I could kiss him just with those fingernails. And, it's not to say that we're shallow beings. It's just that if you do care about how you look, how you feel, it is highly attractive. And if there's some things that are off, that might be the thing that person remembers. There was another study that was done where, and this had to do with just the attitude as well as the dress, is that, people and this was men talking about women. Men said that, they would have a really fabulous time with a woman, but if she said one negative thing, or there was something a little off, they would remember the negative thing. And actually, this is psychology. We tend to remember things possibly, especially on first impression. It's more more first impression, because obviously once you know somebody, you're a little more forgiving because you have more of a well-rounded, view of them. But in the first impression stage, our brains will go to that thing that stands out, and sometimes it's the negative thing. So why even take that chance, right? Like, why not break down these barriers so that you show up the best version of you? So anyway, I just want to check in with you all. How are you? We are here on Sway TV at Kimmy's Love Hub. If you're just joining us, make sure that you click the follow button so that you can interact with me, because the more you interact with me, y'all, the more love I want to give back. It's more fun for me. So if you have any questions in ways of dating, getting ready for a date, please put it in the chat box. So, did she ever tell the guy about his fingernails? Oh my God. Okay, so I didn't finish the end of the story. Thank you for asking. Because I was the matchmaker, and this is why I said, thank goodness I was the middleman, I actually said something, because I'm an image consultant too. And so I really care about the way that, people come across. And so I said something to him. I said, this is an easy fix, and he actually took it really well. He chuckled. He's like, Kim, I wasn't even thinking about it. And he was gardening. That was the thing that was so funny, is that he is a gardener. He was just minding, outside, and he's a hands-on guy, which was why she actually was attracted to him, because she liked that he was so hands-on. But he kind of forgot about the fingernails. There was another time that I worked with a guy, good-looking guy. We went shopping, got him a whole new dating look, but he had really yellow teeth. And I said something to him, and I said, look, this is, again, something that can be easily fixed. I shared with him that he could get the white strips. He could start, really easy. He didn't even know about the white strips. And he was so thankful, so thankful. And actually a week later, he came back and he said, Kim, I just want to thank you, because I didn't even know that was, something that maybe was turning women off. He felt way more confident going into dates, and I think he got good results because of it. Because if you're listening to what I'm saying, obviously we're noticing things about other people. But when we're not feeling secure about our looks, or maybe we're fidgeting on something that's on our clothing, or we have, something that's going on in our brain, like we're having a bad hair day, we have a zit on our face, it affects our confidence. Other people may not see it, but if we go into a date or into some sort of setting where we're going to see people, if we're not feeling our best, that attitude might come across. So this is a really important topic as we prepare for a date. Now, I want to go over some makeover tips. So we went over, obviously, the makeup part. I want to talk a little bit about style, and then we'll wrap up. I plan on doing some more shows where I'm just doing all makeover stuff. Would y'all like to see that? Because I really think it's important. I know there's a ton of makeover shows out there, but I haven't seen a lot of shows really dedicated towards a dating makeover, a dating wardrobe makeover. And I always say that's what I want to really show people that there is a difference. There are things that as a woman we put on our body we think are really cute. We may even compliment each other, but then men tell me, why do you ladies wear that? We don't even find that attractive. And the same goes for the guys. Guys might not put intention into looking spiffy before a date, and they have their big old jersey on or sweatpants before hopping on a Zoom date. And it matters. We're paying attention to that. So I want to give you some tips around doing a little bit of a dating wardrobe makeover. And Andy, if you're there, I'd love to show some makeover. Oh, look at that. You are all ready. So you will see these are some live makeovers. Now, all the makeovers that I show on the show, and I show when I do webinars and whatnot, these are real people. These are real people whose lives have transformed inside and out, who eventually found some love, after that. But really, at the end of the day, the love that they found was for themselves. For me, there is nothing like somebody walking out of the dressing room and having a little bit of a swagger. You know, walking out of a dressing room where they just stand a little taller and they feel a little sexier. Because again, the clothes, and again, there's so much research on this, the clothes that you wear will impact the performance that you have on a date. Hands down. This is research, it's not just me talking. It even has an effect on the brain. There's a term, I've said this before, it's called enclothed cognition. There are shifts that go on in the brain when you wear something different. So as you can see in my makeovers, these were 3 examples, and see, I even showed I do a lot of manovers, and I might dedicate a whole show on manovers because you have a lot of men on here. As you can see, there's definite like more dateable type of look in the after pictures. Do you see that? And each of these women and gentlemen, they're good. I mean, every one of them are good-looking people, but they weren't marketing themselves in a way of like the dating image. And so it was really fun to do these. These are just one of many. If you want to see more, you can go to my site, kimmyseltzer.com, and see a lot of other makeovers that I do. And I even do these virtual makeovers now that are super fun and interactive. And in 1 hour, you will understand what your body type is. You will understand what clothes flatter your figure, what clothes to stay away from, and I even help you pick out some dating looks. So definitely go to my site, kimmyseltzer.com, and you can check that out. But you know, what's really important about picking out your dating costume is that, number 1, it needs to be different than what you wore before. In the daytime, in you know, like your work life, in your mommy life, in your daddy life. The second thing that's really important is to think about the elements of the clothes and how they're flattering your figure. Now, again, for women, there are 5 body types, and it's really important to know your body type so that you know exactly what flatters that figure and what cuts that you should stay away from. And again, on my site, you can go to get my free body type guide. I have one for men, one for women, where you can measure yourself and you'll know exactly what is your body type and what to put on it. But beyond that, like when I shopped with these women, a big mistake is that you go to your comfort zone. You go to your comfort clothes, right? And now with COVID, I call them the COVID clothing, we're all in comfort, but it doesn't mean that you can't look cute. Right? And so you can see the difference that these people have. There's something a little bit sexier. Now you'll notice with the women, there's a little leather going on, right? So that's the third element that I will say that gives a little sex appeal is when not only things are more fitted, but also has a material that is sexier. So you can do that with leather. You can do that with satin, ladies. You can do that with lace. Having that little touch will make an impact. Like even the shirt I have on, I don't know if you can see it. I got a little lace going on here. You see that? It's so subtle. It's so subtle, but it's enough that gives that kind of sexy subtlety that's different than like a business type of look, because I wanted something a little softer. I wanted to look professional, but also I'm talking about dating, so I had to have a little sex appeal as I was talking. So the material and just the way things fit your body is super important. I want to share a little story. If we can get those pictures back, the guy that I'm showing in that picture, it was such a cute story. So and this happens to a lot of my clients where they lose a lot of weight and they don't see their body as the new body. I know that happened to me after I lost a lot of weight after being pregnant, and I still had the big clothes. And that was true for him. So in the before picture, I don't know, Andy left. He left the room. We'll get back to it. In that picture, he had his clothes that was of ones where he was a bigger size, but he was still wearing them in his new body. And so I wanted him to see his new body, and the only way that he really could do that is to see himself in these new clothes. So when he put on these new clothes, he couldn't believe, like he went down 3 sizes. And as you could see in that before picture, he had like these like cargo shorts on, and he had like kind of these bigger, bigger shirt, and it just wasn't sexy. And you could see in the after picture when he had things that were more fitted on his body, he looked longer and leaner. And even with the women that you saw, right? Like, didn't they look taller and leaner and sleeker? Because at the end of the day, we wanna look, not only youthful, but leaner and just, have movement in our body, because that comes across as sexy to the opposite sex. We all enjoy that. But again, it goes back to how you feel. So with Frank in that picture, the body language that he had, like he was just kind of like more relaxed with his body. And you better believe this transformation and all the transformations that I do, it does translate too, because they went back home, they had a new wardrobe, and as they started wearing that new wardrobe, it made a huge difference when they went on dates, because they went in with more confidence, right? And so this is all part of putting on a dating costume. During your date prep plan, I encourage all of you to look into your closet and pick out something, put it on your bed. You could try it on, look in the mirror, dance around. How do you feel in it? And I will tell you, every one of you, I encourage this too, every one of you can go into your closet and pick out at least one outfit that you feel confident in. And whatever that is, take a look at, is it something that makes you feel sexy? Is it something that you've been complimented on? Like, what is it about that outfit that you really enjoy? The other thing that I really encourage you to do with your dating costume is to have color. Now, we've talked about this before. I want to highlight it again. And I want to show a couple items that are in my cart. And again, you can access this by going to swaytvshop.com. You go to where it says Kimmy's Love Hub, and you just click on it. And I have, and actually a lot of items in here have been on my previous shows, which are still up there. You can go to the replay. Now, last week I had showed a top by CC. I actually was wearing this top. It also comes in blue. This is a great cut and had a great color. The red one I think is sold out, but this is a nice color. You definitely, CC is a great brand because, and I am going to wear another top of CC's because she tends to have, or he, I don't even know if it's a he or she. CC, if you're out there, let us know. But I love the V-neck. The V-necks are really important for your dating look because it gives you kind of this openness and it works on every body type. You know how Jenny was talking about this area being a really sexy part and even like putting some bronzer on this part. You know, men notice this. It's a sensual part of the body. So I really love the V-neck. But another one that I'm going to wear actually soon, I want to show you this one that I found on Amazon. The reason why I really liked it is that it came in a ton of colors. And so if you're going on a Zoom date especially and you want to like throw something on that's colorful, that you'll feel good in. And again, I didn't have to iron this top at all. It's by Rosewear, but check out how many colors this comes in. And I always recommend solid, ladies. And men, I got you covered too. I have something for you as well. But look at like, okay, so this is like the color I have on, right? And you could see this reads really well in the camera, but there's all kinds of shades, you know, like we have this blue, we have, I love this. I think this is the color that I got. So I'm going to wear this next time. And green too. But make sure it's the right color for your skin tone. That's the thing. A lot of times, you know, people don't know their color and they put it on and it can make your skin tone sometimes look a little dull, a little sickly. So you want to know your colors. I really believe in going by tonality. It's how a color reflects on your skin tone. And you could do it old school. You know, have a friend over or in Zoom. Call up a girlfriend, call up a guy friend and say, hey, which color looks better? Honestly, like that's all you got to do. Like when I first got on, you know, somebody commented and said, ooh, I love that blue on you. Well, that gave me a lot of confidence. Whoever said that, I don't know if you're still here, but I really like, you know, I know now that this blue is a good color for me. I know red's a good color for me. So look at the compliments that you get when you wear a certain color. Oh, CRB, you bought this top in a reddish color. You wore it for Christmas. Oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah, and it's so affordable too. And that's the thing, it doesn't have to break the bank. And again, if you're going on a Zoom or video date, you really only have to worry about the waist up. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so now I want to help the men out there. And ladies, you can vote too, because like if you saw a guy, for instance, showing up, and I showed this last time, but I want to actually pair this with some jeans. So if a guy's going on a date, John Varvatos is one of my favorite lines for men. He is here on Amazon, which I was like so surprised about. He has great date looks, in my opinion. Ladies, what do you think about this? Oh, CRB is Cammy. Cammy, so good to see you. Hello, hello. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, see, it's one big love hub at Kimmy's Love Hub. We all know each other. I love this, and I hope that we continue the love. And please, ask your friends to come. I'm building a community here. You can also check out my podcast, Charisma Quotient, where I'm building a community over there as well, and so that we can all stay in contact with one another. Anyway, ladies, what do you think of this shirt for guys? I really like this. I think it's a nice shade of blue that would look good on a lot of men. Oh, thanks Sway TV for the plug of my Charisma Quotient. And actually it's in the carousel too. So if you click on it, Amazon has podcasts, y'all. So you can listen here on Amazon. It's called the Charisma Quotient. So what I like about this shirt too is that it's a tone that will also make a lot of men look, you know, thinner. It's a more fitted shirt. And also make sure that you have men and ladies, please, you can tell me, you can definitely like back me up. Please wear jeans that fit you. There's nothing worse than a guy that has too big of jeans, and worse yet, like acid wash jeans. Please do not wear those anymore. I'm saying that because I'm an 80s girl. I so remember when they were in style. Ladies, do you remember when acid wash jeans were in style? Oh my God, I'm having a flashback. Okay, I'm remembering, do you remember this style? I had acid wash, oh my God, I'm gonna embarrass myself. I had acid wash shorts on, and then we wore black tights with them. Oh my God, what were we thinking? And I really thought I was the bomb. Like I thought I was really hot. I would go to parties, I would go to fraternity parties. Does anyone else remember that, or was that just me? And like in my own mind, I thought I had like this big fashion. Anyway, no acid wash jeans. Oh, do I not have the jeans in here? Oh, here they are. Okay. Men, you should be wearing like some slim, dark jeans like shown here. I love AG. And actually, ladies, you should check out AG for women. AG is a great line for both men and women. And what I like about this dark wash is it's like a midnight blue. Even if you got black would be really nice. AG, I know, comes in all different kinds of colors. And they're really soft because guys are really into comfort. That's why they tend to wear things big, but you don't have to wear things big to be in comfort. And that goes for you ladies as well. You know, gone are the days of the stiff jeans. There are, especially if you move up into the like higher end brands, and AG is a higher end brand, it's amazing how comfortable they are because they have elasticity in them and they have a lot of give and stretch, and you feel like you're wearing leggings. They're awesome. So I definitely like men, if you're going to like you know, socially distanced walk, please wear some nice jeans, a button down as well. We notice, and here's the thing, it does not take a lot to impress us. Pop like a really funky shoe with it, and we're really good. We were good. Ladies, oh, and nice look, right? I mean, I think this is a really, really good look. So I want to recap a little bit and then take some questions as we end the show today. Number one, you're going to go in. If you didn't see the beginning of the show, it's really important before on a date to have the open mindset, the flirty mindset, and a playful mindset. Get out of the left brain, get out of your work self, get out of that taskmaster energy and into something that's more fun and humorous and light, and you will come across as fun. Both sexes, both men and women, enjoy playfulness. I don't care who you ask. I don't care where you live, the age that I don't care if you're 85 or 16. We all love playfulness and laughter and feeling youthful. And if you go into a date with that like work energy, it ages you. So not only does your makeup or the lack thereof age you, but also your energy can age you. So make sure you're going into that with a mindset. Now, in that date prep hour, and I recommend at least a half hour to an hour, not only are you getting in that mindset, you're getting into your body more. Here on Amazon, I recommend making a playlist for yourself, a date prep playlist that gets you like dancing around, having fun. Ladies, you can dance around in your underwear. You can, maybe pop a bubbly, have some fun with yourself. Whatever it takes to get you into that like mindfulness of the body. Because here's the thing, when we feel, that's what creates attraction. It's not what you know, it's what you feel when you're with someone. Yeah, you with me? Right? It's that feeling that you get. So if you go in with intention and having that energy in your body, so you're gonna be mindful of what you're wearing. You're gonna put your dating costume on. You're gonna have a little music on. Maybe you're gonna take a little bubbly bath. You're gonna watch a funny YouTube video. You're getting into that mindset so that you walk into that date feeling sexy, looking sexy, and putting your best foot forward. That's really what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, it is that self-love. It is that self-confidence that everybody finds so attractive. So, I'm so glad. How do I attract positive people? Oh, Nando, well, I will start with what I am ending with, and that is you. So you have to take a look at what are you putting out there to attract certain people, certain energy into your life. And if you are attracting a lot of negative people, I don't know if that is you, Nando, you have a lot of like negative Nellies in your life or Debbie Downers or, just people who kind of bring you down. Take a look at your life and what can you do in your life to change that so that you attract more positive people. But it starts with you. Like, are you positive? Do you walk into the market with a smile on your face? Do you wake up in the morning and say, I'm so excited for this day? Are you, looking in the mirror and saying, I love me and I look awesome? So are you carrying that positivity in yourself? Because like attracts like. When you are positive, you will attract more positive people in it. And if you're not, and you're saying, hey, I am positive, but I'm still finding these negative people, then what could you do to get rid of that? What could you do to attract a different tribe? You're not in the right tribe. Right? And so I think so many times people might fall into that victim mentality where they're saying, oh, woe is me. They're saying, oh, all these negative people in my life, nothing happens to me. I'm too old. I'm not this. I'm not good enough, that kind of thing. And to that I say, be careful what you tell yourself, because what you tell yourself, you'll make yourself like right, basically. Because your brain and your body are so intertwined that whatever message you put out there into the world about yourself, that's how other people will see that. So what can you do to change like your friends and maybe the self-care that you do, the work that you are doing? Are you happy? Like, are you happy within yourself? And when you do that, oh, Nando, I'm glad that like landed with you, because when you practice that, and I encourage you, this is something that everybody who's on here, who here is in the Love Academy? This is my coaching program. These are my queens. If anyone's interested in joining the Love Academy, definitely get in contact with me, KimmySeltzer.com. These queens know the drill because I always have people starting out talking about wins. We start our group saying, ladies, what were your wins this past week? What are things that you did right? What are things that you're proud about? And what did you love that you did today? And, you know, if you don't have a tribe that lifts you up, I encourage you to. You can also join my Facebook group, the Love Makeover Insiders. See, I'm giving you lots of opportunities to have a community, whether it's here on Sway TV, join my Facebook group. You have to have a tribe. A tribe really makes a difference. For Galentine's Day, and I think we landed with Ladentine for you men, we talked about friendships and how important friendships are in your dating life. And it really is true. But every day, what Nando, I encourage you to do is wake up and write in your journal something that you love about yourself, something that you did that made a difference maybe in somebody else's life or your kid's life, whatever that is. And instead of focusing on what isn't, what is working? Because again, that you have the power within you to create your own reality. Y'all really do. You all are so powerful. Like some of you are putting yourself into action and purchasing some things that, you know, we showed you today here on Amazon, and whether that's Jenny's products. And again, you can find all our products on swaytvshop.com. You can go to her page. You can go to Kimmy's Love Hub page. Even just taking action and buying like one thing, that's already starting something different for yourself. So that's why I love the external stuff, because it's tangible. It's something that you can do right away, and it will make a difference in how you feel. So, oh, John. Hi, John. And see, John has been here. John, have you been on this entire time? Okay. I don't know. Annie, can we give him a prize? I feel like there should be some sort of prize for men who stayed on this entire time, who cared about how women care, and he went through the whole like tutorial. Did you stay on the entire time? Okay. Anyway, how do men find tribes? That's a bigger conversation, and perhaps we'll do some more talks on that. But what I will say is, you know, Facebook has a ton of men's groups. I encourage you to look on there. Also think about activities that you enjoy doing. I know we're in the middle of a pandemic and not all of you can get out and be in activities in a socially distanced manner, but there are a lot of virtual events that are happening. So, you know, I'm a little bit different. I don't necessarily say, oh, go and find a single event and find your tribe there. I think it's much better to look at hobbies and things you're passionate about and go seek other people who are passionate about those things too, because you're already starting with things that you have in common with that person, right? Oh, we have time. Yeah, we have time for all questions. Yes, we do. John, you were here the entire time. Oh my God, ding, 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 ding. Okay, so I'm just saying you win. Like the fact that you stayed on this entire time, I love that, like men. And John, can I like pimp you out? Like John is single and he is ready to mingle. I'm just saying, so if anyone's like interested in John, I can set that up, and maybe we can have you come on and do a live date. So last week, if you missed it, we did the first ever, we made history here on Amazon Live with the first virtual date. And these people didn't know each other. And I don't know, Allie, if you're here, or Michael, if you're here. So I'm feeling like we need to do another one with a different age group. So I don't know, John, you might be up. So I wanted to wrap up any last questions that you have or other areas that you might be getting stuck. One thing that I'm finding with a lot of people, we're in this kind of weird space right now, right? Like we're coming off of Valentine's Day, we're heading into spring, but it's almost this like dead space. Are you guys feeling that? Like we're not quite there, ready to maybe like get out and mingle, but we're starting to think about it. a lot of my clients or people that I've talked to, one of the complaints they're having, I'm going to take these off because I don't need to hear Jenny anymore. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. One of the things that I'm hearing a lot of complaints on is that people are feeling like they're not progressing. Anyone feel that way? Like maybe you're doing a bunch of DMs online and it's not getting to the next stage, like a video date. Or maybe you're going on a bunch of video dates and it's not getting to the real person date. Or maybe you're going on a bunch of real dates, but you can't get to the second date. Like, where are you all getting stuck? Oh, Val, you want to show that blouse on Amazon again? Oh yeah, I'm happy to. Let me just finish this thought. Because if you are getting stuck, I got you covered. I am doing something coming up next week. I'm sorry, men. I don't have something for you yet. And I say yet because I know that I'm going to have something for you soon. But for women, March 3rd, I am doing the 21 Dating Progression Roadmap fireside chat, I'm calling it. It's a virtual fireside chat where we're all meeting in Zoom. We're going to see each other and we're going to just have like good old girl chat and talk about where y'all are getting stuck. And I'm going to coach you through how to get unstuck. I'm going to do some hot seat coaching. I'm just going to say that right now. All of you are invited to apply to get in the hot seat so that I can like showcase you and really get you unstuck in that moment. And we also will have time for Q&A, but I'm going to give you a roadmap on how to get unstuck. I just feel like we are in that state. So speaking of getting unstuck, somebody wanted to see that pretty blouse that I had up. I think this is the one that you're talking about, Val. Is this it right here? Okay, it's called Rosewear, and you can get it here. It's in Kimmy's Love Hub. If you go to swaytvshop.com, you just click on Kimmy's Love Hub, and you'll see all my merchandise there. And to enter, going back to the dating progression roadmap, you can go to either my website. You can also go to @KimmySeltzer, which is my Instagram. Also, if you can remember this, it's a bit.ly link. It's bit.ly, if y'all are familiar, bit.ly/dating roadmap 2021. Dating roadmap 2021. And that will just get you registered. It's free. And that way, you can hop in the Zoom room with me live March 3rd. So that's it. Oh, good. I'm glad that I found that for you. Oh my gosh, we have so many people on tonight. Who knew on a Friday night? Because, I was telling Sway TV, I said, I think Friday night is going to be a good night because most singles are coming off the work week. We're relaxing. Maybe we're going to a happy hour here and there. Do y'all like Fridays? If you like Fridays, shout it out, because I was having it Sunday for a while. I don't know, we're testing out the days, which is working for you, which is not. I don't know, we might move it around, but make sure whatever you do, follow me. Make sure that you're clicking the follow button that you see in the video. It's going to make you enter giveaways that we do periodically and interact with me, most importantly. And there's all the links. You can go to swaytvshop.com to get all the merchandise. And if you're just catching the end of this and you wanted to see the beginning, I had an amazing guest on. Her name is Jenny Patinkin, and she did a whole tutorial basically, and I was trying to follow along on how to apply makeup and do a better beauty routine to get a good dating look. And you can go to swaytvreplay.com to catch all the replays here, and it'll be up for at least 2 weeks. And so, did I miss a funny? Did John? Oh, I would not want to disappoint you on TV. John, there is nothing like jumping into something that finds you very uncomfortable. Remember I was saying that before? How huge would this be? Because I know you a little bit. How huge would this be for you to do your first date here live? I don't know. I'm going to talk to you about this because I know you and I have a feeling this might be something kind of cool to do with you. because there's nothing better to get over any kind of anxiety that any of you are having than just jumping right into it. So, oh my gosh, well, we've been going for almost 2 hours. I want to thank you all again for showing up. Some of you have been showing up each week. I hope to continue the show each week. Again, my name is Kimmy Seltzer with Kimmy's Love Hub here on Sway TV on Amazon Live. Have a beautiful night, and I will see you next week. Let's sway!
Make sure you guys follow Sway TV. Follow Sway right here. Ooh, it's this way, sorry. Corey says, thank you, Sway TV. Shakira says, thank you, Sway. Yes, guys, it is so much fun. We love Sway TV.
We're here all the time streaming live. We're sharing great products. We're doing great interviews and amazing giveaways.
Amazon, we love you, Amazon.
So grateful for you guys and for Sway TV.
I've had such a great time with all of you.
Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway.